How's it going, y'all? It's me, Space Cadet, back with another injury story. And before we get into it, I just want to say I'm sorry for not uploading on Thursday. I know this video is hella late, but thank you, thank y'all for being patient. But with that being said, like it if you like it, sub if you want to, and let's get into the time that I crashed my brother's bike and got the worst road rash of my life. This is yet another story that happened back when I was in middle school, where I was pretty much knocking on death's door every day back then. However, this one didn't happen at my parents' house. This one occurred at one of my buddies' house, whom I'm not going to name for the sake of privacy, but I was over at a friend's house. This is one of the first times I'd stayed the night at this person's house, which we later on became great homies, but at this time we had just started to really hang out together. This one starts out when my buddy invites me over to his house. But we were pretty good friends at the time, and I forget whose idea it was to bring our bicycles over, but two of my family's bicycles were brought over to my friend's house. We don't know whose idea it is, but we bring the bikes over, and we're riding them around the neighborhood. And overall, this day wasn't that eventful. It isn't until the next day that things really get interesting, but I'll get to that. We get into a couple more shenanigans, but eventually night time rolls around and we have to go to bed. And when the next day rolls around, I wake up and I find that my buddy is already awake. And at this point, it's me, my brother, my buddy, and his brother. So there's four of us. And it's me and my homeboy that's awake. And my homeboy immediately suggests we go back out riding on bicycles. And I'm down. So we get ready. I'll throw my shoes on, grab a little snack from the cabinet, and we skedaddle out the door. And I had my bicycle there, but my brother's bicycle was also there. And his was much bigger than mine. And his was able to go a lot faster. So I hopped on that one. I grabbed his bicycle. And I don't think it really would have mattered which bicycle I would have grabbed. Having the bigger bicycle definitely didn't help in the long run, now that I think about it. But I grabbed the bigger bike anyway. So just to recap, me and my brother went to my friend's house with our bicycles. We stayed the night, and now it is the next morning. So now it's just me and homeboy. And we go bicycling down the road. And I don't live next to this guy. He's on a completely different side of town than I am. So he's showing me around. He's showing me the places he goes, the hangout spots. And we had a lot of common friends too. And they all live next to him. So he was showing me all their houses. And we passed this side road that I don't think anything about. But my friend is hopping this place up. And he's like, bro, we gotta go on this road. It's such a big hill. We're gonna get so much speed. It's just a straight shot. It's gonna be so cool. And I'm like, okay, whatever. All right, let's go. I'm so down. I wanna bomb a hill. So he takes me down this side road. And this road isn't the smoothest road. It has a lot of potholes. It has a lot of filled potholes. You can tell this is an old back road. You can tell that this road has been used and abused for a long time. I'm starting to have my doubts. I'm thinking that you can't carry too much speed through here. But homeboy assures me it's fine and he's done this before, so I continue to go along with it. It's a good 2 or 3 minute bike ride from the start of this road where we had turned off to actually get to the base of this hill. And we pull up to the base of the hill, and I'm looking up this thing, and it's steep. It's, at this point in time, I haven't even tried anything near this steep. But I'm still going along with it. My homie's not showing any fear, so I'm like, fuck it, let's go. Let's run it. Just to set the situation for you, we're now down the road from homeboy's house, like a good half mile or so. We're a good ways away from his house. His house is long out of sight. And then we turn down this back road to go towards this mountain that he pretty much wants to go down. And we had left without saying a word to anybody else. We didn't tell anybody else where we were going, what we were doing. Everybody else was still asleep. This is early in the morning. There's no cars on the road. We haven't seen anybody since we started this endeavor. So with literally every red flag imaginable, I start going up the hill with him. And I'm like, how far you wanna go down? And he says he wants to go to the top of the hill. And mind you, we can't see the top of the hill. It kind of goes up for a good ways, probably a good 500-600 feet, and then it turns left, still going pretty much straight up. Like, this thing's probably hard to get up in a car. It was hard enough pushing our bikes up up this hill. We were not riding our bikes up this hill. There was no chance. We're both pushing our bikes up this hill. We go all the way to the bend, and I want to call it here, and he says no. I want to go to the top, and I don't want to I don't want to be the bitch. I don't want to be the one to pull out and say no. So I fold, and I keep going up with him. We go around to the left, and it immediately cuts to the right again. And I'm thinking, this is gonna be extremely hard to do with all this momentum, even if we was just to do these 2 corners and stop here. And I'm trying to reason with him. I'm like, bro, I don't think we can do this. And he's like, okay, well, let's just go from here. We'll do these 2 corners, and then if you still feel like it, we'll come back up and do it again. And I'm like, okay, yeah, if I do this and it's nowhere as scary or sketchy as I think it's gonna be, then sure, I'll do it again. We both get our box situated, and we get ready to go. I'm holding my brakes, and I've got to get up sideways on this hill. I can't hold the bike down, or else I'm just going. I gotta hold the bike sideways. And this bike was too big for me because I took my brother's bicycle and not mine. I wanted the extra speed. But now that we're up on this massive hill, way out of my comfort zone, we take our stances up on this hill, and he goes first. He goes, and immediately after he goes, I go. Immediately, we start flying down this mountain, and we both tried tapping our brakes the best we could. We knew we'd eat shit if we tried stopping that hard. So we're now both just zooming down the road way faster than either of us can control. It was a miracle we made it through those two corners. He hit it at just the right angle, and I just followed right in behind him. We managed to get to the bottom of the hill, and I remembered some gravel that was right at the bottom of the hill from a driveway connected to this road. So I stay the opposite side of the driveway. I go to the right side of the road and get as far away from this gravel as I can. And I don't know if homeboy just didn't see it, or if he just didn't care, or if he couldn't control if he could do something about it or not. But he plows straight through the most dense part of this gravel, and he loses it. He wipes out. And mind you, he's still in front of me. I can see all of this. I'm not even sure if he can see me. I'm kind of like just behind him. But he hits this gravel, and he loses it. He falls to his left, and his bicycle gets slid across the road. He falls into the driveway, and his bicycle gets slung across the road. And I make it through the gravel. So I see him crash, and I make it through the gravel. And I think I might be able to maybe stop before the end of this road. I'm going so fast at this point. I'm like, maybe I can slow down and turn around at the end of the road and come back and get him. But as I think that, his bicycle comes across the road and slams into my front tire. And I fell so fast, I don't remember falling. I remember being on the bike and then immediately being on the road, sliding across the road. I tried as I was rolling to get to some grass, but I was in the middle of the road. I couldn't. I just had to scrape by. And at first, I don't think it's that bad. I knew I was scraped up. I knew I had really good road rash on my arm. I could see that. The whole backside of my right arm was just completely bald. It was shaved by the road from shoulder to wrist, pretty much. It was bad, but it was only on one side of my arm. It wasn't the whole arm. And my clothes were tore up pretty good, but I immediately got up. I was filled with so much adrenaline. I got up. I made sure nothing was broken. Thank God I didn't break any bones, or I don't think I did anyway. I immediately stand up before I don't even think of my own injuries. I just immediately stand up, and then I start assessing myself. I'm like, my arm's pretty fucked right now, and my leg kind of hurts. I'd scraped up my leg pretty good, but me and my homeboy kind of meet up. I'm not sure if he got off better than I did or not. Hitting that gravel probably didn't feel too good though. But we grew back up, and we're like, okay, we don't have any broken bones. He grabs his bicycle, and there's pretty much no damage to it. It's got some scrapes to it, but he can ride it, and both the brakes work. He may have had to like recenter the wheel, but that takes like 2 seconds. and we walk over to my brother's bike, the bike that I was riding at the time, and it is fucked. This thing is mangled. Both wheels on this thing are bent. The back one's bent, and the front one is pretzelized. It's folded in on itself. It looks like someone smashed it with a sledgehammer. It looks like it got ran over by a car. I genuinely don't know how one bike was completely fine and the other bike was completely destroyed. The chain was gone. The brake handle was just hanging. I didn't see the bike after I'd fell, so I genuinely don't know how it got so damaged and how his bike didn't get damaged at all. I literally hit his bike. I literally ran into his bike and my bike got completely destroyed and his bike was completely fine. We quickly realized the situation. I'm pretty messed up. He hit the gravel pretty hard. I think he hurt his arm pretty good, but we recuperate and we realize the situation. He's like, I'll go get my mom and we will come pick you and the bike up because I can't ride this thing out of here. Even if the bike was rideable, I definitely couldn't ride this thing out of here. So I get the bike out of the road and I'm sitting on the side of the road. I'm just trying to take my mind off of what just happened. I knew I shouldn't have went down the hill. I knew that we was probably going to eat shit like this, and yeah, I did it anyway. And now I'm bleeding on the side of the road for it. And homeboy rides away on his bicycle to go get his mom, and he's gone for a while. So I'm like, okay. At first, I just try to take my mind off of it and I wait for him, but eventually I start walking around and I try to figure out how my bike could have gotten as messed up as it was. I start looking at the road and there's scratch marks all over the road. There's broken spokes from the bike on the road. Hell, there's even a little bit of blood smeared on the road from where I'd slid across it. But eventually, homeboy pulls up with his mom. We load the bike in the back of our car, and I hop in the whip, and we pull up back to his place. And my parents are already on the way to his house. But we pull up, and I go chill in his kitchen, and his mom gets me an ice pack, and I'm just kind of chilling out in the kitchen. She asks me a few questions, kind of how it happened, and my brother's giving me shit for wrecking his bike. I'm just like, hey, whatever. But eventually my parents pull up and we go back to my house. And at this point, my mom assesses the damage and she doesn't think it's bad enough to go to the hospital. However, they do clean off the road rash with some isopropyl alcohol, which I obviously took like a man and didn't scream like a little bitch. That's a lie. I definitely screamed for a long time. After a while, the road rash started to heal. My forearm healed up pretty quickly, but my god did it hurt, and I learned a valuable lesson that day to not be peer pressured into doing dumb shit. So hopefully you can learn from this and not have the same thing happen to you. And hey, if you made it this far in the video, make sure to follow me on Twitter. Like it if you like it, sub if you want to, and hey, I'll see you in the next one.